Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In keeping with cooking and camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, the exciting series, I am going to make a delicious, delicious bacon, tomato, and egg breakfast sandwich. Absolutely fantastic, filling, and it will power you up any hike you have planned for the day. It also tastes great at home. If you're going to work or you're going to do something fun on the weekends, this sandwich will get you through the day. So come on, let's cook. And here are the ingredients for our bacon, egg, and tomato sandwich. I have a pound of bacon here. We'll use about 3 slices cooked on our sandwich. I have an everything bagel. Use the bread of your choice. We're going to use just under a 1/4 cup of shredded cheese. Again, if you just have the cheese squares, that's fine. You can always slice them up. We'll do black pepper to taste. I have 2 eggs, slice of tomato, and just over a tablespoon of butter. We'll use the butter to toast the bread and to scramble up the eggs. So it's that simple. I also have a plate with some paper towels on it so we can drain the bacon as it cooks. Let me show you how to put all this together. So I know you already read the instructions on how to operate your gas stove, so you'll be able to do it safely. And there's the hiss. Only use these stoves outdoors. I know I have to remind people of that every now and then. These are killers if you use them indoors in a tight space, so make sure you're using this outdoors. Now I have this over medium heat, putting the pan on it, preheat the pan for a minute, and then we'll start the bacon works. And as you know, the secret to crunchy bacon is to not dump the grease as it's cooking. Keep cooking the bacon in the grease and it will come out nice and crispy. And here are our first pieces of bacon. Oh, isn't that the bacon sizzling sound that we were looking for? That is just music to a bacon lover's ears. Oops. Now some people would take the whole pack of bacon and just dump it in here. It's very hard to manage it if you do that. It's a lot easier if you just set up a bacon works where as each of these pieces get crispy, you move it off and you just keep adding pieces and it comes out nice and purty and cooked all the way through the way you like it. So we're going to just watch this and we'll turn it as the pieces brown, and I'll check in from time to time as we're going through the process. And here we are about 3 minutes into the process. I have tongs. You can use a fork if you want. Just kind of giving the bacon just a little bit of a stir. It's just getting that grease on it, and it's not sticking stationary and burning in one spot. It's looking good. Just give it a little flip. You can see that the browning is starting to work its magic. And this is a thick cut bacon, so it takes a little longer to cook. The thinner cuts will cook faster. I like the thicker cuts on sandwiches because you can stand up to it. There we go. So we'll just tend to it like that. We don't have to, we don't have to spend a lot of time doctoring it. And as that grease builds up, it will get crispier and crispier. Now you can see the bacon is cooking very nicely. It's getting crisp. It's cooking in that fat. And if it gets too smoky, turn it down a little bit. And if it stops cooking, turn it up a little bit. It does take a little finesse because the bacon grease can get pretty hot and sizzly. So you can always adjust the heat to control that cooking. And you don't want to burn the bacon. You don't want the bacon all blackened. So you will have to adjust that heat from time to time. And when you're on a crooked picnic table like I am, that can affect how you're cooking too. And then you just make it as crispy as you like it. Some people like it a little bit chewy. I don't. But that's totally up to you. But you can see the bacon's cooking. I'll start removing pieces and adding more bacon on. A nice little bacon conveyor belt until we're all the way through the pack. Okay, so here's the last of our bacon in all of its crispy glory. You can see that it cooked really well. It browned really well in that fat. So we're just going to take this off. And drain it on our paper plate. You can see I already have all the other bacon all lined up and ready to go. I'm going to use it in all kinds of recipes this week. And here's an important point to make when you're camping or if you're at home. What do you do with the grease? What I usually do is I'll turn the heat down, let it cool off a little bit. I don't want to deal with it when it's super hot. And then take a glass container, a steel can, like a glass jar, a steel can, take the top off. This is aluminum. And make sure there's no liquid left in it, because when you pour that grease in, if it's still hot, it will spatter. So what I'm going to do is pour it into this, set it aside, let it cool down completely, and then throw it in the proper trash receptacle. That's an important point too, because you don't want to just take this bacon grease and throw it in the fire ring, or pour it in, or certainly don't pour it into plastic, because it'll melt right through the plastic if it's still hot. So we want to dispose of it responsibly. So I'm just going to let it cool down for a few minutes, pour it into this can, and then we'll continue on making our sandwich. So I'll be right back. And another reason why you want to dispose of the bacon grease in a responsible manner is if you pour this bacon grease in your campground, in your campsite, and you're anywhere near like bears and raccoons and possums and other critters, they're going to come a-running. They'll love bacon as much as you do. So that's why you want to dispose of this responsibly. Now, all I'm going to do, the pan is cooled down. I'm just going to wipe these bacon solids out of the pan. And then I'm going to light up both this pan and the other pan that I'm going to toast our bread in, our bagel. So let's just relight this. Okay, that's lit. And that's lit. I'm just putting them on low. And with this pan, what I'm going to do is, well, let's start the toasting first, because the egg is actually going to cook faster. So to make our toast, I'm just going to put the butter in the pan. It's just easier to deal with. You can also butter the bread ahead of time and put it face down if you want. I'm sure I'm setting off a huge debate on the internet on how to make toast when you're camping, but I do find this is a very easy way to do it. Just take the spatula and move it around, and you don't have to toast the bagel if you don't want to, if you like it on the chewier side, but I like it with a little bit of crispness. So here's our butter. Yum. And just put our bagel face down. Let's just check this. Yeah, that's toasting fine. And we'll just move this other piece around. Make sure it gets toasted too. Get a nice crisp going. Okay. And then this pan has preheated. And I'm not going to bother cleaning all of the bacon grit out of it. Mainly because it adds flavor to the eggs. And we'll just take our butter. It's turning a little tacky. Just put a little bit of butter down to keep it from sticking too much. And here's our eggs. And you can pre-scramble them if you want in a container. You can use 1 or 2 eggs for your sandwich. Totally up to you. I like the extra protein, especially on a day when I'm going to do some heavy-duty hiking today. Looking forward to it. Just give it a scramble in this pan. You can see it's picking up that bacon flavor. Oh boy, is that going to be tasty. Oops, let me check our toast. Oh yeah, that's coming out nice. Just doing a little smoking action. And I think I'm going to put that second piece face down and just turn the heat off. And it'll finish toasting on its own. Now I know some people who we'll cook eggs straight in the bacon fat, and I'm just not there yet. I probably never will be. But I do like a little taste, especially when I'm camping, a little taste of that bacon in the egg itself. And then I don't have to salt the egg either. Now, this is not part of the Healthy Choice series. There are many healthier recipes on Step by Step Chef. This is kind of a treat. I don't eat these bacon sandwiches all the time. In fact, I don't eat bacon really that often, but I do enjoy it. You know, maybe once every 2 months or something. And then, you know, I'll use it in BLTs and other dishes. But it is a treat. And it does really enhance the camping experience. Okay, the egg is starting to cook nicely. And kind of make it in the shape of the bagel, so it'll fit on there, and whatever other bread you may be using. Oh yeah, that's cooking nice. And we want it nice and dry. We don't want wet egg in the sandwich. Press it together again. Okay, that egg is cooked. Let's put the sandwich together. Turn the heat off. Get our bread bottom nice and crispy. I'm going to put the thin slice of tomato on the bottom so it doesn't sog up the bacon. And just take as much egg as you think you need for the sandwich itself. Oops, that was a little klutzy. Kind of working around some funny circumstances out here as usual. And add your sprinkle of cheese. That'll melt down nicely. And you can add the cheese when while the eggs are cooking if you want. It's all the same to me. So that's tasty. And then I'm adding just a little bit of black pepper to this. I have to use 2 hands with this pepper crusher. But you can see there's just a little bit of black pepper on the top. Now comes the star of the show, the bacon. And I hope it made it this far if you're making the sandwich. I hope you didn't eat all the bacon. And you might have to chase people off away from it too. So there's our 3 pieces of bacon. And we add our crispy roof. Oh, that's going to be tasty. So congratulations, look at what you just made. You just made this tasty bacon, egg, cheese, and tomato sandwich. It's absolutely delicious, and it has a lot of nutrition in it. It's going to be perfect to power me through this day. Whether you're cooking at a campground or at home, doesn't matter. Please check out my website, StepByStepChef.com. There you will find a free printable recipe for this sandwich and for over 175 other dishes. What you'll also find there is free video links for each and every one of them, where I show you how to make these meals the step-by-step way. And they're absolutely delicious, and it's a wide range of foods, and I think you will really love it. And if you're doing cooking and camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, I've also posted videos there about how to camp. Easy and enjoyable camping. It's just a blast out here. So again, my name's Larry Richardson. I am your Step-by-Step Chef, and I'll see you in the next episode. That smells like camping.